We're back with Widow Talk this week, but I did want to kind of talk about the name for the podcast. I did touch on possibly changing the name. I just called this a podcast. This series. Eventually I do want to turn this into a podcast, but I've been thinking about changing the name of the series. And I said I just kind of wanted to wait until it felt right. I'm at a point where it resonates with me. The name that I chose for the series is Alchemy After Life. First we'll talk about the definition of alchemy. Transformation, change. That's what I want this series to be about. I want it to be my advice on how to help you go from like a really shitty place and get to a place within yourself where you feel strong and empowered and guided. I've worked really hard the past year to find a way to be aligned with myself and aligned with my higher self, aligned with the greater good for me and for my little family. I haven't completely achieved that. I haven't gotten to a place where like I receive signs and I don't doubt them anymore. I still receive a lot of signs for things and I still doubt them. Why did I say it like that? And I still doubt them. So week by week, what we're going to be doing is going through what I have learned, what I've gone over and gone through in the previous weeks, months, years of my life to get to the point that I'm at. This is going to be a once a week series. So obviously, the place that I'm at week by week is going to change. It's going to be different. This week I might be super aligned with myself and I might feel super great about everything, which, spoiler alert, I don't feel that way at all right now. Next week might be different. It's all about doing what feels right for you. This is what feels right for me. I also want to talk about my reasoning for changing the name from Widow Talk to Alchemy After Life. In my last In my last episode, I talked about how my husband and I really weren't on the greatest terms when he died. And for those who don't know, his way of passing was by his own hand, just a couple feet behind me. There's a lot attached to it, obviously. I have PTSD. I have really bad depression and anxiety. The depression part, I don't really feel that very often anymore. I think that's come with like time kind of healing and addressing my inner child and my inner wounds and doing all the shadow work and things like that, which is all stuff that I plan to touch on. This episode is just purely for chatting with you and letting you know like where I'm at right now and what I intend to do moving forward. So at the time that he died, we were separated. We were still living together, but we were separated. And it wasn't because I wanted to be. I touched on this the last Widow Talk episode. It wasn't because I wanted to be. It wasn't because he wanted to be. It was because things had gotten to a very toxic point in our relationship, and I felt that through years of trial and error, it just wasn't working. And I could see that the relationship was slowly killing us both. I wanted out of that toxic cycle. I wanted us to heal, come back together in the future, and have our family. There's a lot of guilt tied to his death because I do feel like it was my fault most of the time. That being said, I don't feel like I really align with the title Widow Talk, but also because like I think it gets misconstrued. Like when people are scrolling and they see Widow Talk, they might keep scrolling because they think it's only for widows. But that's not at all what I want this to be. I want this to be for everybody who is craving transformation, feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or even underwhelmed in their life, right? And they're just like, I don't know how to get out of this rut. I don't know how to get unstuck. And I'm not saying I'm like a life coach by any means. I'm literally just going to share with you my tips and tricks and the things that have helped me throughout like I said, the last weeks, months, and years of my life. That's what I intend to do moving forward. And I hope that if this resonates with you, you'll give me a follow or maybe just comment and tell me like what you want to hear in the coming episodes. I'm constantly feeling called to speak on these things. I'm constantly feeling called to tell people what I'm going through and how I'm dealing with it. And I have found through life that a lot of people have leaned on me for advice and for how to get through certain scenarios. And I feel like that wouldn't happen if I wasn't meant to share that in some capacity. That's what I'm doing here with you. So I hope that you'll give it a listen week by week. And if you have anything that you want me to talk about or touch on, then just please comment, let me know, and we'll go over it. I hope that you're having a beautiful day. I will talk to you next week. Bye.